to Ramadan Radio FM. You're listening to Young People's Talk, and you're here with me. My name's Iman Masoom, and we've got two guests today. This is Mursal.
My name's Mursal.
And my name's Hannah.
So I hope you guys are having a good Ramadan so far. Don't forget to ring in on the studio line on 0116 482 2086, or you could send us an SMS or WhatsApp message on 077 488 55055. We really want to hear from you guys because this is an interactive show, so please feel free to ring in or text in. So, how is your guys' Ramadan going so far?
Good, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, it's going good, alhamdulillah. What day is it today?
What day is it? 12, 11?
I think it's 11.
11.
Yeah.
I think it's the 11th. It's gone nearly halfway. That's
It's gone really good.
really fast as well, yeah.
It has.
How have you guys been spending it so far? What can you say you've been doing like pretty well so far?
I've been praying to Allah a lot more compared to last year, which is good. What about you?
I've been doing a lot more Quran recitation.
That's really
Like,
good.
now I'm on the, I think, 11th bar.
Wow.
Last
mashallah.
year I didn't do it as quick, but alhamdulillah, I've got it a lot more quicker this time.
That's good. What
That's
about you?
really good. Me, I've been going to Tarawih every day.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Because last year I hadn't been going. It was just like on and off. But so far, consistently, I've been going every day. I think I only missed like one day.
That's really good. Alright, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. How are you guys balancing? Like I said last week in the show as well. How have you guys been balancing your studies? Like Hannah, what year you're in?
9.
So I'm with a year 9 student and an A-level student. So I want to see the contrast. How is it going with your studies?
For me, because I don't go to school, and it's a lot easier for me.
Okay.
So I can spread it out throughout the day, like, because I'm focusing on biology. That's my main focus at this point. So it's just biology, like all the time. But yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Like to be able to do everything at your time.
Yeah.
Your timetable, like your structure. That's good. Me, my day is structured for me. Like I need to just go ahead and just like fill it in myself. That makes sense. So, normal 8:30 to 3, just like school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially because it's not half term as well anymore. So.
Yeah, exactly. And then just come home. But this year, because obviously the timing is very early.
Yeah.
It's harder because like when you have a late iftar, you can do a lot before. But now it's like iftar is in the middle of it, not the middle of the day, but it's like an awkward time if that makes sense. So you need to like, what do I do before? What do I do afterwards? So yeah, that's different.
Time goes so fast, innit?
Yeah.
It goes so fast. Like I come home from college, like for example 3 o'clock, and I'm like, what? I don't even have that much time to like do that much, like, because then half the time you're spending in the kitchen helping.
Yeah.
So like, you don't have that much time for yourself and your own dhikr. But I would say like obviously after iftar is the main thing.
Yeah, exactly.
As well.
You've got a longer period of time after iftar
Yeah.
compared to before. Like you go home and then you've got like an hour and a half or whatever to get everything ready, and then it's just longer after.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you done this Ramadan that's like an accomplishment or highlight of your Ramadan so
My
far?
highlight is my iftar that we hosted yesterday
Okay.
with my scouts group. It went really well, alhamdulillah. It was so smooth. Everyone loved it. I was doing the Mendi there,
Okay, that's
and
good.
everyone was giving me compliments. So I was like really happy to see that I'm really improving. And then
No,
What about you?
right, that's really good.
That's a really good.
Yeah, I think it's what I said at the beginning. Like I wouldn't pray Tarawih so much last year compared to this year. So that is an improvement for me. And it feels really good to do it consistently as well. So that's my accomplishment this Ramadan. What about you?
That's good. Same again, like Tarawih. I've been going like most of the time. Obviously almost every day.
Yeah, that's
Besides that one day. But I'm planning to inshallah go every single day, hopefully. Yeah. And also fasting as well. I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, I think I've been eating less. I think I've been eating less compared to usual.
That's really good. I mean, it just depends on what you want to do. Some people, they say like, well, this Ramadan, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this. Like my
Yeah.
diet's gonna be like
Yeah.
this. And then they're gonna go on like a diet or whatever.
Yeah.
But realistically, that doesn't always end up.
Happening.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't end up happening because I don't know. Like some people, it's different. Some people eat throughout the day. Others they, others they wait. And they eat like all at once, whatever.
Yeah.
But obviously, because we're not eating for the whole day. Some people, like after eating dates, and some people don't like dates. Do you like having dates? I love dates.
I love dates.
Do you
I
dates?
like it, but I feel like if I have too much, I'll be sick.
Oh, okay.
So I can only have like one or two.
For me, it's like like I think we were talking about the other day. Like when you have one date,
Yeah.
and then you have another one, but you know how it's sometimes to have an odd number. Of
Yeah.
dates.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I never have three, and then when you have another one, oh, I need to have five. Like, it has to be an odd number. But yeah, and then it makes me really thirsty, so I chug so much water down. And then sometimes I'll be full after that, so I have to wait. But yeah, that's just the eating side from about
Yeah.
the diet. and
Yeah.
everything.
But I've been like telling myself that I need to have more fluid because I'm really bad with like drinking water and stuff.
Yeah.
Literally on a normal day to day, I realize I don't even drink that much water, and then I realize like as well in Ramadan as well, because obviously we're only eating after a certain amount of time, so then I get really thirsty. But then even then, like I'm not even drinking that much. So my goal is to drink as much water as I can, because obviously so many benefits. Good for your skin,
Yeah.
good for like everything internal. Yeah.
Yeah. I just make sure my son is just topped up and everything. It's just like, even like when I wake up for Fajr to eat, and just like I drink a lot of water, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
you do.
that's
Yeah.
a good thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, too much is not good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about the topic of Surah Yusuf, and the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. And obviously because he was such a prominent prophet, very important prophet in Islam, so I think his story is very interesting to touch on. As obviously in the Quran it was said about the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, it says it was the Ahsan al-Qasas. So it was the best of stories, which means that it's like the best story. I think the story is very interesting as well, guys. So if you guys do want to add to it, or you want to talk about it, or you just want to ring in and talk to us about your Ramadan, please feel free and ring in on the studio line on 0116 482 2086. And you can also send us a message on 077 488 55055. Okay, so let's start off with the actual story of Yusuf alayhi salam. So the story starts off with when I was researching about this, obviously I didn't understand that there were so many different things happening in the story. I only knew the part of the well, what was it?
Yeah.
But I didn't know that there was so much going on after that as well. So it was really interesting to research about as well. So Yusuf alayhi salam was the son of Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam, who was also a prophet. Now Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam knew that his son was going to be special. He knew that his son was going to be important. So Yusuf alayhi salam, one day as a child, he had a dream. And this dream was, I think he was about like 11 something about stars.
Yeah.
So it was about, I think, 11 stars and the sun and the moon prostrating to him in that dream. So obviously Yusuf alayhi salam told Yaqub alayhi salam, he told his dad about the dream, and his dad told him that, don't tell your brothers, because, your brothers can get jealous. And so yeah, and then you can
Yeah, so his brothers, they were already jealous because his father loved him dearly already. So they were jealous. The jealousy grew, like, let's say your parents favorited one of your siblings, and like, if they find out about this, like, they're going to be even more jealous, So the jealousy grew until they plotted against him. Some people suggested killing him. Others suggested casting him away somewhere distant. So they agreed to throw him into a deep well so that passing travelers might take him away. They took him under the excuse of playing. They threw him into the well, and they returned home with a shirt stained in false blood, claiming to say that a wolf had eaten him. So obviously Yaqub alayhi salam didn't believe this, and he chose patience, and he just decided to have sabr and trust Allah's plan, because he obviously knew that this wasn't the case, and he said something was off. Yeah.
And you know, in the Quran it says that Yaqub alayhi salam said, "My son, certainly wise was this wolf who ate Yusuf in a way that his shirt was not torn from anywhere." So you know, Allah put it in Yaqub alayhi salam to see clearly that you know they are not telling the truth.
Yeah.
And then while he was Yusuf alayhi salam was in the well, a caravan passed by and found Yusuf alayhi salam. They took him to Egypt secretly to sell as a slave. He was sold for a small price, not a lot, and purchased by the high-ranking official of Egypt, with his Al-Aziz. Yeah, and he instructed his wife to treat Yusuf alayhi salam well, hoping you know that he might benefit them as a son kind of thing. Then Yusuf alayhi salam grew up with them in a noble household, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted him wisdom and knowledge as he matured and grew older.
That's really, really, really already level of
Yeah.
the story and everything is just so crazy to me. Especially as Yusuf alayhi salam grew up in a very big family with, does anyone know how many brothers he had?
Is it 11?
Yeah, 11 and one full brother, Binyamin.
Wow.
11.
So
yeah.
imagine 11 brothers.
Yeah.
Wow. Growing up with 11 siblings.
It must be a lot.
How many siblings do you have?
I have I have 4.
How many siblings do you
I
have?
have 5.
Actually, why did I say 4? I am the 4th sibling. I'm
You're
the
the
4th
fourth
sibling.
sibling. Yeah. So you've got 3 siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many
I've got-
siblings?
I've got 2 siblings.
Oh my gosh. And already how much, like, there's so much going on, even though you already have
2
like,
siblings.
2
yeah,
siblings,
11
exactly.
siblings.
Imagine 11 siblings.
The responsibility, the chaos, all of the problems
Yeah.
and the pros and cons that come with it as well. Like, it's a lot to think about, a lot to take in.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously, as said, there are many values that we can learn from this story, especially as Muslims. Because obviously Yusuf alayhi salam was a very strong person going through so many hardships. You know, first off it started off with the dream, and then the well, and then obviously so he was taken away, and even though he was imprisoned, he still kept his hope in Allah, and he was still like he had so much trust and belief in Allah, and I think that's really, really good. What values do you think that we can learn from this story is, as Muslims, what values?
Jealousy.
Yeah, jealousy is a big one. I
Yeah.
think you know, jealousy nowadays it's around a lot with people like getting things that are better than others. A lot of people don't tend to appreciate it. They just think, I want that for myself. Why don't I have that? You know? So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, looking at other people, like, why does that person have that? Instead of like praising them, saying, Allah Mubarak, mashallah,
Yeah.
look at how far they've come, look at what they've done. They just think take it in a negative way. So, and obviously jealousy can lead to a lot worse.
Yeah.
It can turn into hatred, into evil and all of that. And we don't want that happening. So that is really important. But yeah, should we carry on the story?
Yeah.
So when Yusuf alayhi salam reached adulthood, the wife of his master, she's referred to simply as the wife of Al-Aziz, attempted to seduce him. She locked the doors and invited him to herself. But Yusuf alayhi salam, he refused, and he sought refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as he tried to flee, she grabbed his shirt, tearing it from the back. And then when her husband entered, she accused Yusuf alayhi salam, and she said that, oh, Yusuf alayhi salam, you know, he tried to do it to me, I didn't do anything, playing a good character. And then a witness suggested that if the shirt was torn from the back, it proved that Yusuf alayhi salam was innocent, you know, and it was indeed from the back. But although his innocence was clear, the gossip spread amongst the women of the city, and to justify herself, she invited them to see Yusuf alayhi salam. And when they saw him, they were so struck by his beauty that they cut their hands unintentionally, declaring that he was no ordinary human. So despite his innocence, Yusuf alayhi salam was imprisoned, and after choosing prison over committing sin. So I feel like that shows that, you know, instead of indulging into activity or sin, it really shows his integrity and his it's like his resilience.
Yeah,
I don't want to
and his
fall into
trust.
sin. Exactly, and his tawakkul as well. Like he has faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he has trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and obviously he knows that Allah's got a plan for him, so he's just gonna go ahead with that. So after he went into prison, do you want to carry on? What happens after that?
So after he went into prison, obviously because Yusuf alayhi salam had a very special skill of interpreting dreams, so he made a lot of. I'm pretty sure he was very friendly. Like he had a good character in that prison.
Yeah.
And then there was a king, I think.
Yeah.
A king. So do you want to carry on with that story, Hannah?
So there was two people in the prison, and one of them. So I'm sorry. Yusuf alayhi salam interpreted two dreams while in the prison. One of them was that the other inmate in the prison would serve wine, I think it was, to the king, and then that was fulfilled. And then there was another one that Yusuf alayhi salam interpreted, that there would be 7 years of abundance and followed by 7 years of severe famine. Yeah, and then a year of relief.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he advised storing grain during the years. The king was then impressed and ordered Yusuf alayhi salam's release, but Yusuf alayhi salam insisted that his innocence he publicly declared first. And then the woman admitted the truth, Al-Aziz's wife, and Yusuf was cleared of all accusations.
Wow, subhanAllah. What a crazy story if you
Yeah.
think about it. Again, I keep saying this because there's so much depth to the story, like, and there's so much more. There's so many new things that I'm learning. And obviously, if you guys are learning it too, and you want to talk about the story, please feel free to ring in on the studio line on 0116 482 2086, and you can also send us a message. Whatever you want to say, whether it's about Ramadan, whether it's about the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, please feel free to send us a message on 077 488
Okay, so after Yusuf alayhi salam was cleared of all his accusations, the king then appointed Yusuf alayhi salam over the storehouses of the land, so he has some responsibility now, and obviously he has gained the king's trust, and they recognize his knowledge and his trustworthiness. Okay, so during the famine, people from surrounding regions came to Egypt, to buy food, trade, including Yusuf alayhi salam's brothers. So they didn't recognize him at first, but he recognized them obviously, and he asked them to bring their younger brother on their next visit. So eventually, through a lawful plan, Yusuf kept his younger brother with him, and after a series of events and repeated visits, he finally revealed himself to his brothers. So, shocked and ashamed, they asked for his forgiveness, and Yusuf alayhi salam forgave them completely, saying that there will be no blame upon them that day, and asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive them. So, even though he went through all of that hardship, and after everything that his brothers had done to him, he still forgave them at the end of the day, because obviously I think, if you forgive others, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive you as well. It's like, when you hold a grudge against someone, I don't know, if you have an argument with someone, they've done something to you, there's been a disagreement, it's always good to sit down, think about, okay, what have I done? Like, what's gone wrong in this situation? But we need to make sure that we forgive each other at the end of the day, because we want forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes, obviously
100%.
we do, 100%. So if we cannot forgive one another, what makes us think that, okay, we're gonna ask for forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we need to make sure that we're doing that to others as well, to the people around us. And yeah, so this story, it really pinpoints that this point is really, standing out to us, saying, okay, like Yusuf alayhi salam, he went through probably worse than what we did, and in different ways, obviously. And then he still forgave his brothers. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is a really, really good story because it has so many values that we can implement as young Muslims, especially in today's society. For example, tawakkul, sabr, even though obviously Yusuf alayhi salam went through so many hardships, he still stayed patient and still had a firm belief in Allah. And I think that's a really, really good point. Especially, I think that's a good point for us Muslims now, young Muslims to use, staying patient in Allah's plan and just having strong belief in Allah. What do you think, Hannah?
I think that is 100% what you're saying, and a way that we can apply it is like, if something goes wrong in our daily lives, don't just say, why has this happened to me? Maybe look in the further picture, like maybe Allah's put this there for us to teach us something, or show us that this is not for you, So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. For example, yeah, when you said like something goes wrong, everything happens for a reason, right?
Exactly.
So you could say, oh, like, why is Allah making this happen? So and so, obviously it's for a reason. So you're not going to take it in a negative way. Like, oh, why does this always happen to me? Like, why is it always me? No one else. Blah blah. You're going to be like, okay, this happened to me. Let me think of the positive.
Yeah.
Then you think, okay, like, what can I get out of this? And
what can I learn from it?
Exactly, 100%. So obviously Yusuf alayhi salam was betrayed by his own brothers. He was thrown into a well. He was sold as a slave. He was falsely accused. All the women were gossiping about him. Imagine that happened to you. How would you feel? You'd feel
I
devastated.
feel so sad,
And
frustrated,
exactly.
isolated. Imagine all of those feelings that Yusuf alayhi salam had felt and was feeling. But imagine he still didn't give up, and he still had firm belief and trust and hope in Allah's plans.
Yeah. And that goes like, hardship doesn't mean Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has abandoned you. No, that's not what it means. It's sometimes it can be like, preparation for something better that awaits you. So yeah, every time something bad happens to you, doesn't mean, oh, it's the end of the world.
And Allah doesn't test us more than we can bear. So as much as we're being tested, we always have to think, this has been put there because Allah knows that I can handle this, I can resolve it, I can find a solution.
Yeah, like you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's really important. Also, guys, we're going to be having a quiz question. And whoever gets the answer right, they will win a prize. And that prize is obviously very, very good. I think it's pizza slices, token of pizza.
Yeah.
So our question for everyone is the king of Egypt in the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. So the king of Egypt, Yusuf alayhi salam interpreted his dream. What was the king's dream about? Okay, there's a specific answer to this question. So the question is, what was the king of Egypt's dream about? The one that Yusuf alayhi salam interpreted. And you can, if you have the answer and you want to win this prize, then ring in on the studio line on 0116 482 2086. Or you can send us an SMS or WhatsApp message on 077 488 55055. Guys, you don't want to miss out on getting free pizza. Come on out.
I do not want to miss out on this.
I'm gonna get hungry. Okay, so I think we should carry on talking about the values that we can learn. So one thing you mentioned, obviously we spoke about this, patience and tawakkul as well. What other values can we learn from this story?
We mentioned forgiveness as well. So it teaches us that the ability to forgive, even though you've been hurt so much. It's hard, Like imagine someone's done so much to you, and then you being like, okay, being the bigger person and saying, okay, I'm going to be a big person, I'm going to forgive. And you never know, that could resolve your issue with someone. Let's say it's a friendship issue, or like I'm trying to implement it in our lives now. What other issues or like problems do you come across now
Yeah.
day to day? Like, what are some of yours?
I think I think with people my age as well, I think friendship can
Yeah.
be a big issue. Knowing who to trust and who to speak to, I think that's very important. But also finding good friends as well, friends that support you and uplift you and appreciate your achievements as well.
Yeah.
And also, it's very easy to get involved in the wrong company, especially now. But yeah, what about you?
I think friends is a big thing, and going off what you were saying, we should always find friends that remind us of Allah every day. It doesn't matter what we're doing. Like, you could just be walking and looking outside, and they remind you of Allah. Like, they remind you this is Allah's creation. We need to be like grateful for it.
Yeah, 100%. And also, it's like, as you said, your environment, right? It goes back to Yusuf Alayhi's story. Even though he was in an environment where everyone was, committing sin, or he was the wife of Aziz, right?
Yeah.
Tried to make him fall into sin, even though he was around all of that. His circle was not a good circle. He still persevered. He still was able to control himself, and he had tawakkul, which is what gave him that strive to say, okay, no, I'm gonna trust Allah Subhanahu wa Taala's plan, and he stays strong. So I feel like we should, obviously, that's someone that we need to look up to, and his story really, emphasizes that point. So even though you can be in a bad circle, it's obviously good to be in a good circle, but having that control is very important as well. And it's like protecting your relationship with Allah Subhanahu wa Taala in every situation. So, for example, when we link it back to Yusuf Alayhi's story, so whether he was in the well, in the palace, or in the prison, his relationship with Allah Subhanahu wa Taala never changed. In fact, it improved.
We've got a phone call coming. So, Assalamu alaikum. So, what would you like to share with us? The quiz answers? Okay, what? Yeah, carry on. Wow, well done. Okay, so mashallah, what is your name? Yusuf. Oh, how lovely. We're talking about the story of Yusuf, isn't it? And how old are you, Yusuf? You're 6. Oh, Allahumma barik. Yusuf, how's your Ramadan going? Good, yeah? What have you been doing so far in Ramadan? That's good. Oh, alhamdulillah. And what do you want to pray anything to us, or do you want to talk about your Ramadan? Do you want to pray anything? Do you want to talk? You were doing half fast.
Wow, that's really good.
Wow, and how are you finding the half fast?
Yeah, it is really hard. Yeah, that's good that you're doing that.
Yeah, it's quite hard, especially at your age as well. But mashallah, well done. You're doing so great, especially 6 years old. And you're doing half fast already. Well done. Allahumma barik. Well, okay, Jazakallah Yusuf for your answer. Do you want to recite anything for us, or do you want to? No? Okay. Well, I hope you have a good Ramadan, and good job for your answer, okay? Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
No worries, assalamu alaikum. Oh,
So cute.
how lovely, so cute. So that's so funny because Yusuf.
I know, right? Such a
Yeah.
coincidence.
Aw,
Yusuf alayhi salam.
so
Yusuf.
lovely. Okay, so let's carry on talking about the values that we can learn. So Mursal, I think you touched on control.
Yeah.
So I think control is a very important one, staying away from sin. So Yusuf, the story Yusuf alayhi salam, when the wife, I think, of the Aziz tried to, involve him in sin, he said, I seek refuge in Allah. So he chose Allah over temptation. And I think it's very easy to practice this. No, actually, it's not easy. It's very hard, especially now in society. It's very hard to practice it. But some of the things that we can do to implement control is, and staying away from sin is like things like not lying, lowering our gaze. Even when we feel tempted, I think we should involve ourselves in Quran, Salah. That's very important.
Yeah, I think, and with this story, it's not just something that we can take. Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam should be a role model. Like all the things that he's gone through, like jealousy, betrayal, all of this stuff happens now, and I think we can use him as a role model on how to reflect in these situations.
Yeah, 100%.
That's really good. And I think another lesson that we can learn is good character. Yusuf alayhi salam was honest as a slave, he was good in prison, and he was a fair leader. His character didn't change depending on his situation, and I think that's really important because it just shows that because he had so much faith and tawakkul and belief in Allah, he was steadfast in his character, even though he was put through so many difficult situations, because there's so many things that he went through. I think that's very, very important. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like, for example, praying consistently, even if things in your life are going bad, if they're going good. Some people, like all of us, most of us, when things in life are going well, we sometimes may not pay much attention to our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
I think we forget.
Exactly, we forget, and then something bad happens, and you go through a crisis or you come across issues in life, and then you're like, okay, like I'm gonna turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is why maybe sometimes things happen because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala maybe wants us to turn back to Him. Yeah, exactly. But Yusuf alayhi salam, even though he was going through all of those hardships and all of those issues with his brothers and the jealousy, and even though he, all these catastrophes that happened to him, no matter what happened, he was still on it. He still had tawakkul. So it really showcases how strong he was, and application of how we would do it in real life. We need to be constantly thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying alhamdulillah for everything, making sure that we turn back to Him in difficulty, and even if we're not in difficulty, wherever we are in life, every day.
It's Allah has given us these good things. The things
Exactly.
are like Allah has put it there for us. Like we need to not forget. Like it's not just there. Allah's given it. We can't be ungrateful.
Exactly, we need to be grateful.
Exactly. That's a really good point. Also, I think the point about forgiveness as well. Yusuf alayhi salam forgave his brothers who hurt him, and also the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam forgave the people in Makkah as well, just like Yusuf alayhi salam forgave his brothers. So I think this is a very important thing, forgiveness. It's like light-hearted. It's good to forgive because it feeds the soul as well. And Allah loves those who forgive others. So
Yeah, exactly. Whoever it may be, your friends, your family, your husband, your wife, your siblings, whoever it may be, you need to make sure you let go of your grudges.
yeah,
You never
exactly.
know what may happen to someone. Like, someone might be alive one day, the next day you get a text, you get a call, or you find out, okay, so and so has, passed away, or maybe even if something doesn't happen to them, you never know what's going to happen next, So I feel like it's good just to let go of those grudges, to make sure you improve your relationship with everyone, and just, don't carry resentment for years and years. Just forgive, and I feel like that's
Forgive and keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going on.
exactly.
There's like there's a lot more to that than holding grudges. I think holding grudges is very big. It can like play so much on yourself as well. It can ruin your mental health as well.
And you get a sense of relief when you forgive someone or something. Or like, oh, I just did something good, and like your heart feels so much more lighter, and you're just like, oh, like that's like being the bigger person.
It's like it's so small, but it's so rewarding as well.
Exactly.
It's part of our faith. Like we don't hold grudges wherever we go. Like I think a lot of people forget we get reward. Like we get forgiven if we forgive others.
Exactly. It's like a
That's
cheat
crazy.
code.
Yeah.
It's crazy thinking about it. Like it's really good. It's good.
Yeah. Are there any more values that you would like to talk about the story of Yusuf alayhi salam?
I think there's one thing like jealousy, betrayal, and hardship. It can be transformed into wisdom, leadership, and divine reward.
Yeah.
Like I think this story shows us a lot in that point. Like it really can.
Yeah, that's really true as well, and because it links back to the story as well.
Yeah.
All of the troubles and the trials that Yusuf alayhi salam was going through. But he just was patient. Even though his brothers were jealous of him, and other people, they thought badly of him, and he was imprisoned. He was still he had a very strong character, and he was still patient with Allah's plans, because Allah is the best of planners. He was patient in Allah's plans, and he was steadfast in his belief, and look how Allah turned all of that into divine wisdom, leadership. Yusuf alayhi salam had got so much reward for staying patient, and I think sabr, patience is such a big thing as well. Because he was thrown into a well. All of this is such a big thing, because Allah can change. Allah can change things that you may think is going bad for you. He can change it, and completely the next day your life is transformed, just like Yusuf alayhi salam.
Yeah, exactly. He's got that control. He Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala obviously knows what's going to happen. He is in control of what happens to us. So even whether or not we forgive someone, whatever's bound to happen is under his control.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it doesn't hurt for us to forgive someone or for us to do good deeds and all of that. So because we're getting the reward of that, especially obviously during Ramadan, rewards multiplied, sheep herd again. But we need to think about our sins as well at the same time. Our sins will be multiplied. So it's a balance.
Yeah, exactly. And I think as Muslims, we worry a bit too much about what's going to go on in our lives, our future, our plans, whether this and this goes to plan, whether I get to university, whether I have a good family in the future. But I feel like all of this worry is just things that can be taken away if we trust in Allah. Allah is He's made such a beautiful garden for us, and I feel like we're just worrying about one little flower when there's so many flowers that are coming our way, if you get it.
Yeah.
Like that.
And it's also about, you said, about we worry too much about what other people think sometimes as well. For example, or like, what's this person going to say if I do this, or what are they going to think about, or blah, 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 that's what we're constantly thinking about. And I feel like that's not a good way to approach things. You're in control of what you do. And obviously you make your decisions yourself. So no matter what you do, let's say you think it's a good thing or you think it's a bad thing, no matter what you do, you're always going to get them people, you're always getting them to, maybe for some reason, maybe for no reason. But as long as you have tawakkul, as long as you have trust in Allah's plan for you, you should not be worrying about what people think. And obviously keeping your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala private as well, that's really important. You don't want to go around, yes, obviously it's good to motivate others and say, I did this today, but I did this and you didn't. I prayed this amount, or you prayed this amount, or I went here and you went to this masjid.
That brings jealousy.
Exactly. And what can that lead to? Hatred, evil, sin, all of this. So it builds one thing leads to the other,
Yeah.
So it's just good to prevent yourself from committing the first sin in the first place, because it just leads to another. It's like a chain, and you don't know what you end up doing.
We're not perfect, but once we start with one little thing, we'll get better.
Yeah. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah, exactly that. So Mursal and Hannah, what key values are you gonna take from Yusuf alayhi salam's story, and what key values do you want to add into your life?
Me, definitely patience. I would love to be more patient with things, and see how things turn out when I have my full trust in Allah.
Yeah, I think trust in Allah. So even though, especially at this time, that relating it to my life, applications,
Yeah.
life's getting big, whatever,
Yeah.
So obviously, dealing with things that may not go my way, and obviously, I'm a type of person that if things don't go my way, I'll just be like, oh, I'll deep it too much.
Yeah.
What have I done wrong? Or did I not do enough of this and this and that? But I need to make sure I don't dwell on it too much. Think of it as a positive thing. Maybe this is happened for another reason, and it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I can find my way around things, or maybe it'll come to me later. Or maybe something's better destined for me, So having trust in Allah's plan, because I don't know anything. I don't know everything. You're a man,
Yeah.
So yeah, just having trust. What about you?
No, that's good. 100%. Both of what you guys have said is really good. I think patience as well for me is a very big one. I feel like I'm very short-tempered, kind of. So patience is kind of a struggle for me, but I feel like throughout Ramadan, practicing patience is really good because obviously we're being patient when we're fasting, patient with, praying as well, patient with other people because obviously, when we're fasting, we don't want to engage in sin. So we have to stay patient for the sake of Allah and we get reward from it. And also what you said, Musab, the having trust, exactly. Sorry, it slipped my mind. I had like a brain fog there. Yeah, it slipped my mind. Having trust in Allah. I feel like I worry a bit too much about my future. What's going on in my life, and I have to get to this point before this age, and I have to do this before that age, and I have to get my life together before all of this. But I feel like
it's all planned out.
It's all
no matter what you do,
no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, it's still good to try hard. And obviously for your education, you want to do well for your future. Yeah. It's still good to do that. I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm just saying that I don't want to worry that much when there's already a plan laid out for me.
It's like, tying your camel and then reading the rest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You've done your part. It's not like, even if you just go into exam, Bismillah, I've got that. Yes, you've got that, but you also need to put in the work as well. It's not like, I'm going to walk into my A-level exam this summer, and I've got Tawakkul, I'm going to
Bismillah talk. Bismillah insurance.
You have obviously you have that side, but it doesn't mean you don't do any work yourself. You need to make sure, okay, I'm doing the best that I can, put in 100% of my side, and then I'm going to make sure I'm going to
leave the rest to Allah.
Leave the rest to Allah. You've done your part.
Exactly.
It goes both ways, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Both sides.
Yeah. So I think that's something that I'm, that I want to work on, not worrying too much about myself and, about others as well, because everything works out for a reason too, even when things don't go my way, like you said, just like choosing to, stay calm, stay happy, because everything works out, everything happens for a reason,
100%.
Everything's written for us, so
that's the thing that I want to try doing this Ramadan, implementing that into my daily life, and obviously after Ramadan as well, so it doesn't end at the end of Ramadan.
Ramadan is the start of a new lifestyle.
Exactly.
That's really good. And also I think obviously we picked up a lot of values from Surah Yusuf and the story of Yusuf alayhi salam.
100%.
Values like forgiveness, tawakkul, trust, and I think we can use that as Muslims. So I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us today. We're gonna have a show next week as well, so don't forget to tune in. And I hope you guys are all having a blessed Ramadan so far. inshallah, you will hear us soon. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum,
Assalamu
everybody.
alaikum.